In case you're wondering, no, we haven't had a power cut. I'm just enjoying some ambient light after a day of fairly back-breaking work, packing books and books and books into boxes, boxes, boxes. Next week, our hall floor is being lifted, dug out and replaced. And consequently, we're having to move a great deal of furniture from downstairs in the hall into other rooms, and indeed some furniture from downstairs upstairs. But a bigger issue is the number of books in boxes that I had already moved downstairs in order for work that we've had done upstairs to take place. They all had to be moved back upstairs. And then something else came to light. And that was, and it's something that really didn't need to come to light because I was aware of it already, that was that I have far too many books. I have so many books there is not room to move. For the last several months I have been in real danger of tripping over one pile of books and face planting into another pile of books, and thus ending my earthly time in a heap of paperbacks. So I thought something has to be done. I'm also conscious, many of you know, that I embarked at the beginning of this year on a depth year. The depth year being something that many of us on the YouTube tarot and witchy community are doing at the moment, which is a process which can be done in a number of different ways, designed to help us get deeper into the year, more in touch with what we want the year to be about. So some people are using that framework as a prompt for study. Some are using it as a way of reducing their expenditure. Some are using it as a way of reducing their clutter. Some are using it as a way of reducing their consumerism. I was using it as a way of reducing my obsession with buying books and tarot decks. So the depth year plan I had, and I set it out a while ago in a video. I hope you can hear me, but I'm trying to be quiet because others are sleeping. And now I'm talking even quieter. Anyway, back to my I think it's a bit of a throaty, husky sound at the moment, mainly because I have inhaled so much dust. I'm in serious danger now. If I don't die of falling face first into a pile of paperbacks, it's possible I will die of bookworm lung rot or something like that, because I've inhaled the dust of ages today. So many books. Oh my God. Anyway, my depth here. The plan was not to buy any new tarot decks or any new books unless I really, really, really wanted or needed them. And I was going to use that time, or the time that freed up, to drop deeper into some studies that I was interested in. Studying non-duality, various wisdom traditions and texts, and looking at and exploring and enjoying many of the decks and books that I already own. Well, I got off to a very good start, an exceptionally good start. Then some personal issues in March, illness in the family, meant that I was away for a while, and ironically that actually helped the depth year, because for about a month I wasn't really in a position to buy anything or even think about buying anything. I didn't have time to read anything during that month. Then I came back And overall, I would say that the depth here has gone pretty well. Recently, I will admit that I have had a couple of splurges, including a couple of splurges, one of which has arrived, and when the other one arrives, I will be doing a depth year deck splurge admission confession video, but this isn't it yet. No, this is a slightly different admission and confession video, because what I decided to do as I was beginning to clear my books up, I thought, well, there are still a couple of books coming in. I've been pretty good on the depth here, but I could do with clearing some space, especially now that we're having this work done. So what I'll do is what I did a few months ago, which is to see if I could sell some of my books on using the BIIIIIG app. BIIIIIG app, where you get your phone and you zap the barcodes of your books, and BIIIIIG, the company, tells you if they'll buy them, hence the name BIIIIIIG. And when I did this a few months ago, at the beginning of the depth here, I packaged, I think it was 3 or 4 boxes, might have been more, but at least 4 boxes with books. And BIIIIIG took them off my hands for the princely sum of £300. That's how many spare books I had knocking around. However, I have to confess I wasn't very ruthless then. And this time, because I had so much crap to shift because of this house renovation thing that's going on, I thought, Brian, you're going to have to be ruthless. Also, I noticed that some of the books and decks that I had promised myself I would use the last time I went through all my stuff, I hadn't used, I hadn't even looked at. So I thought, no, now is the time to be ruthless. So I have spent the day zapping barcodes and packaging books into boxes. And according to the BIIIIIG app, the books that I have packaged together today will be taken off my hands for the princely sum of £400. Now, let me be very clear. One, I'm not telling you this to boast about the fact that I have just sold £400 worth of books through an app thing. Nor am I doing it to say, you know, to try and give the impression that this is a good thing. I mean, it is a good thing, obviously. I'm very happy that I'll be getting £400 for my books that I have sold through BIIIIIG. But what I'm really trying to convey is, oh my God, I had £400 worth of unused, lying around in boxes, books and some tarot decks. What the hell? What was I doing with them? Nothing. Oh my God. It's shocking. Shocking is what it is. And what's even more shocking is that BIIIIIG only buys certain things. So some of the things you zap, it says, we don't want them. So quite a lot of things I zapped have not been picked up by BIIIIIG. And then at the other extreme, BIIIIIIG would, for example, if you had a really rare tarot deck and you zapped it, it might say, we don't want this, or it might say, we'll give you £2.50 for it, £2.50, but it might be worth £250. So some things don't really lend themselves to BIIIIIG. And I have things at either end of that extreme. I have things that BIIIIIG did not want, that I now have to get shot of because I don't want them either. And I also have some things that I wouldn't sell through BIIIIIG because it would be better for me to sell them on eBay or through Amazon or something, or through a deck trade or selling site. So, if you think of a bell curve, of, at one end of the extreme, there's the crappy things that nobody wants. And at the other end, there is the kind of rare, valuable things that you may or may not want to part company with anyway. And in the middle, there's the kind of general stuff that's neither one or the other. I had £400 worth of the general stuff just lying around. I'll tell you what I thought as I was packing up. I thought, Brian, this is why you need a depth here and why you must stop buying. I have bought some more. Not today. I don't mean I've packed all those things up and sent them off to BIIIIIG and then bought some more. I'm not that beyond the pale. So, I'm recommitting to my depth here. And to be fair to myself, I would say that recently a lot of my most recent purchases have been very specifically related to specific things I'm doing, like my YouTube series, my tarot tips, or my the one that I haven't given a name yet to. Haha, you nearly caught me then. But no, I'm not ready to announce it properly yet. It's coming soon. So I've been buying some materials for those series. And that's good, that's fine. I feel okay about that. One or two things have slipped in. There's been a couple of things, even today, that I've been going through that only arrived recently, and I find myself picking up and going, what is this? So, recommitting to the depth here in terms of managing my purchasing. Also, acknowledging to myself that actually I have gone deeper in some areas. I've gone deeper in some areas of study, which is great. And thirdly, I'm noticing, or have noticed, that one of the reasons I buy things and find myself then having to sell them on is that when I get interested in something, I get really interested in it, and I dive into it. And then, after a while, I might lose interest. And today, even though some of those books I thought, why have I kept this? A big proportion of them were books I have learned something from. So that's a good thing. Or that I've enjoyed through reading, if they're fiction books. So that's a good thing. So it's not all doom and gloom on the depth here front. But it has been a sobering experience today to see just how much gumph one can collect. And I'm recommitting to my depth here. I'm recommitting to going deep. And I'm recommitting to spiral learning. When you go back to something and you learn at a deeper level each time. That's what I found with some of these books. Because some of the books that I've kept and that I haven't sold and won't sell, I'm delirious with tiredness and the inhalation of book dust. Some of these books I won't sell because I know I'll go back to them, and I'll go deeper each time I come back to them. And my hope is that any books I do buy in the future will fall into that category too. So I'm recommitting to my depth here. I will probably be listing some decks and books on eBay at some point, because there are still some things I want to get rid of that BIIIIIG won't take. And when my recent deck splurges arrive, I will share them with you as a way of penance and hopefully absolution. I will share the gift with you before I feel guilty about the fact that I splurged. So thank you for listening to this slightly delirious midnight rant. And if you're in the middle of depth here, I hope it's going well. And if you've hit some bumps in the road in your depth here, I know what it's like. Oh yes. With that, my friends, I bid you good night. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again very soon.